High school sports season underway, and today we find ourselves in Blaine, where today the Blaine Bengals will host the Centennial Cougars in a Northwest Suburban Conference matchup here in Blaine. And with Blythe Whaley joining us shortly, I'm Nick Walsh, and we're happy to be here this afternoon. It should be a good one here today, as the Blaine Bengals coming in a record of 2-1 overall. Centennial, meanwhile, is 1-1 overall. And this is a rarity. We were talked about us being in Blaine here for a girls' tennis matchup, and this has been something that they haven't been able to do for the last couple of years because they have redone and rebuilt their tennis courts. They haven't had to have, or they haven't been able to have some tennis matches here in Blaine for the last couple of years. But Blythe Whaley, we're here in Blaine, and we're happy to be here.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day. We've experiencing some wind, which is going to be a huge factor here today, but these ladies, like you said, are excited. It's a new court, so when you think about it, I mean, in my time just playing any sport, when you get to play on your home, like having that home advantage and having it be this experience where you know the ground is perfect, it's just fun to be in your area.
As we are underway, is Natalie Ennett, the senior for Centennial, serving, and she has started with an ace in her first serve, and now a second ace as well. And so it'll be 30 love. I believe actually rather that one was out. So 15 love here for Natalie Ennett, and now a double fault. So 15. Rather than last one rather let. So Blaine's Garber able to pick up the point there, so 15 all. Natalie Ennett, a senior, 1-1 on the season. Defeated Peyton Erickson of Armstrong in straight sets, 7-5, 7-5. And then lost to Zoe Adkins 6-2, 6-0 of Maple Grove the last time out. 15 all. And another point there for Ennett, makes it 30-15. Molly Garber on the other side, 1-2. This is the first singles match here for Centennial, as you see Ennett there, the senior.
And that's something too, I mean, talking with Coach Lammer before this one, he was talking about she has so much experience in singles. She's been doing it since 9th grade, and last year being number 2 singles, getting to move up this year. Her serve has improved greatly from year to year, and so he's excited to see how far this will take her this year.
And that's out, so 30 all here as Garber ties things up here. First game of the day here, first singles, Centennial and Blaine, Ennett and Garber. 30 all. And now 40-30 in favor of Ennett. This wind is going to play with the tennis ball a little bit here today. It feels like it's blowing across the court from the near side to the far. 40-30.
Yeah, when we were talking before this started of just what's it's gonna look like when they have to change sides and how far that ball will actually go.
That's a nice shot there by Garber, floating it over the top of Ennett, kind of using the wind to his advantage. Garber came up on the net and unable to, so now deuce, our first deuce of the day on point number 1. And now advantage favoring Ennett. Ennett, as we mentioned, 1-1. Tough win over Peyton Erickson of Armstrong. And then a 6-0, 6-2 loss to Zoe Adkins of Maple Grove.
Zoe Adkins got 3rd in state last year, a huge competitor when you're going up against someone like that. And so just knowing she made it out of that one, she does have a win under her belt, And being senior year, she can just continue to grow on what she learned from that.
And back to deuce now. Is that one out? And so we will have deuce number 2. Evenly matched first game.
Something interesting about Molly, she was actually on the JV team last year. She's just a sophomore this year, but when it comes to how quickly she was able to jump into this role of #1 singles, her coach was telling me before that she's just a very athletic girl, and over the off season worked so much on what this looks like to use her skills from basketball. So you'll see a lot of great footwork from her today.
First opportunity add in for Garber. Back to deuce once again, so we will have deuce for the 3rd time here in game number 1. Both has had the advantage, but hasn't been able to capitalize. All right, so that was good. So add in now for Ennett, as that was called by Garber, a late call, but she said it was good. And a good serve there for Natalie Ennett as she picks up the first point of the day. So 1-0 in favor of Ennett. Good competitive first game there between these two, Blythe.
Yeah, and it's interesting too when you think about it. Like, both of these ladies trying to get a feel for it. Sure, they have warm-ups, but when the match starts, you're really starting to learn about your opponent that much more. And so these girls now kind of have a feel for what this next game is going to be.
So we will get to see the sophomore Molly Garber serving for the first time with the lead 1-0 in favor of Ennett. Garber 1-2 on the season. Defeated Amia Davis of Totino Grace 6-4, 6-2 in her first match, but then since has dropped 2 straight matches to Olivia Anderson of Anoka in a 3-set match, and then Alex Replier of Champlain Park.
Again, getting to watch Garber's footwork.
And I believe that was in. 15 love now in favor of Ennett. Nice shot there by Ennett, moving back and forth as we take a look at the replay. Right down the line, and I believe that dropped just in.
This is always the fun part, when you see them volleying back and forth and you're just waiting for when that final hit is going to be, what that will look like. And this one, will it drop in?
Nice return there from Ennett. And the point there goes to Blaine, 15 all. Ennett really making Garber work, coming back and forth left to right, and really varying the type of speeds too. Lob shots and then more aggressive shots down the line as well. 15 love.
I like that you said that too, because Coach Lammer was telling me that before, that that's something that is a huge strength for her, that she can vary her shots and what that looks like, whether it's pace or just even the style that she's bringing.
And that one out. out, and so the point to Ennett. And so after Garber picked up the first point, Centennial now leads 30-15 on the shot by Ennett. Well, now 40-15. So chance for Ennett to go up 2-love here early. That is out. The double fault will give the game to Ennett, and so Ennett now leads 2-love here in set number 1. So we will see Ennett serving for the first time from the far side. First time we'll see either player serve from the far side.
And again, like you were talking, is what is that wind going to do as they switch sides with that serve?
On that one out there as Ennett takes the 15-love lead. She looked very comfortable on the two-hand backhand there during that play. We've seen her use the backhand quite often here in the first couple of games there. That's Garber from the forehand. And now 40-love in favor. Or check that 30-love in favor of Ennett. Good aggressive play there again by Ennett. Nice shot there to keep things alive. And then the aggressive play there.
And that's what you have to do to capitalize on those moments. That ball was in the perfect spot for her to be able to finish that one off.
And 40-love now in favor of Ennett. So we saw her on the backhand the first game of this, or the first point of this game, and now the forehand there in the last shot.
These last few points, we're seeing just that experience that Ennett brings to this, being a senior, having played singles since 9th grade.
Point going to Ennett, and now 3-0 lead here in set number 1 in favor of Natalie Ennett, the senior. The players will take a quick break. We'll take a quick 30-second break as well. Ennett leading 3-0 here in set number 1 on North Metro TV.
An apple core, or potato peels, that leftover pizza you promised you'd eat.
Ew.
Those dirty napkins and paper towels. Stop treating us like garbage. Did you know up to 30% of what you're throwing away could be composted? Composting gives your discards new life, which can be used to improve soil. To learn more about the new organics drop-off programs available throughout the county and get your free starter kit, go to anokacounty.us/organics.
And back here in Blaine, 3-0 in favor of Ennett. As the serve across from Garber, Ennett unable to return, and so Ennett with the 15-love lead here in the start of this next game. Again, with the wind, we've got tennis balls crossing different courts here today, kind of at will.
Yeah, you always got to be on your toes, waiting for that to happen too.
Now 30-love in favor of Garber. And again, that wind is blowing kind of from Ennett's direction towards Garber. So there's a left there, so a reserve.
So yeah, I mean, when you're coming down to what is the power going to be on your serve, you're having to factor that in and know that when you're serving from this side, it's probably not going to be as strong. So what does that look like to be ready for that ball to come right back at you?
And again, the return by Ennett too strong. So 40 love in favor now of Garber here. And again, I think at least one of those, if not two, have been a little bit wind aided. Just carries. First serve is out. And a double fault will put Ennett on the board here at 40-15.
And I guess I was thinking even more so of just that this wind is going to be holding that ball back, not as much about how far it's going to push it across the court as well. So Ennett really having to try to keep this in play.
Ennett up on the net, but too strong again, and that will give Garber her first point of the day as the wind makes it 3-1. Ennett the serve. And the point to Ennett there, 15 love. Coach Fedor came out and talked to Garber in between the third and the fourth game, so we'll see if Garber has a little more confidence picking up that first game of the day following the conversation with her coach. There's Coach Fedor.
Yeah, sometimes all you need is just kind of some of that support system, whether he's going to say something to fix your game or just to say, hey, you're in this, you can still make something happen.
As Garber picks up the point there, so 15 all. I think this wind is really changing the way that these two are playing depending on what side of the court they're on. And now 30-15 in favor of Garber. I think Ennett looks like she was more aggressive on the far side when she knew that she could hit into the wind than she has been so far here on the near side.
Well, you just think about it, having those power shots, if you're looking to make that happen from this side, it's so much harder. It's probably going to go out.
And her first serve long as well. Now knotted back up 30 all. And the ace there now by Ennett as she takes control of this game, 40-30. Chance to pick up another game here with this serve to try and make it 4-1. That one wide, and so the point going to Ennett. Another ace makes it 4-1. And so they'll switch sides again, and so Molly Garber will serve from the near side now. Ennett will defend from the far side, and we'll see again if Ennett is able to be more aggressive, and we'll see as well how Garber plays it from the near side as well with the wind at her back.
Yeah, and I think that was huge also for Ennett, because since Garber just got that first win for her, it's nice for her to get back on this streak that she's been having.
As we see the replay of Ennett's game-winning serve there. Garber unable to handle, and so 4-1. On the first point here, again going to Ennett. You can see just the way, especially that backhand, she's much more aggressive, real strong with her returns. 15 love.
And we just saw Garber missing on that backhand, and you think that too because if she hasn't really been playing tennis for all that long, that can be more difficult.
This time Ennett too strong down the line, so 15 all. Garber looks to be maybe a player that a little more go with it, try and let the other opponent make the mistake. 15 all. That one's long.
And it will be exciting to see just what her career can look like, being just a sophomore and already holding this #1 spot. Learning a lot, I'm sure, only playing tennis here for just a little over a year. So a lot to learn to already be at this ranking for her team.
Tennis is one at the net, and that's where Ennett was there, 30-15. She played that well, coming up on it and picking up the point there, 30-15, as we take a look at the replay again. Right up on that net, and you can be pretty aggressive from that vantage point.
I don't know if you'll hear this, but there's an ice cream truck. That could be distracting if I was out there. I'd be like, ooh.
Oh. I can hear different players asking if they want ice cream.
Yeah.
As that was a double fault.
Yeah, I probably would have been signaling to my parents, hey, for after the game, for after the match today.
Ennett now leading. Ennett now with the lead at 40-15. I think in these situations, it's usually the director that buys, correct? I think Kenton Kipp in the seat. I think he's the one with the ability to run out and buy a round for everybody.
Yeah.
40-15 in it. And the double fault there gives the game once again to Ennett, now 5-1. Second serve. There's Ennett, aggressive, but into the net, and so Garber with the early lead here at 15 love.
And I think from her knowing that when she's on that side of the court, she can have those aggressive shots. Sometimes when you're really trying overly to have that aggressive point, it can bite you. And I think, I mean, you see that in golf too. You try to overhit or something, and it doesn't go exactly how it could have.
And Ennett follows up with an ace, so 15 all. And another one, 30-15. Back-to-back aces from Ennett. She's got the lead here and is closing in on set #1. First serve long. Man, that long. So Garber able to tie things up here, 30 all.
And interesting that that was long. I could feel the wind die down just as that hit was taken.
You see, just about 5 or 6 inches long. First serve was into the net. Second serve. Man, a nice return there from Garber. Again, coming up to the net and being aggressive there and taking the lead now here, 40-30.
She just has to keep her head in it and keep forging ahead. Yes, she knows that Ennett has a few games on her.
But that one's going to be long, and so we've got our second deuce situation of the day. The first game was settled in deuce, and now we are here as well on a 5-1 Ennett lead. Advantage Ennett now, as that one was long. So we'll watch this return, and just a bit long. So advantage Ennett. Set point. And that one's out, so back to deuce.
Sometimes it's tough when you're trying to take so much power off it just to place it. You saw that misdirect.
A good shot there by Garber, drawing Ennett to the left side from our vantage point and then driving back to the right, and so advantage now going to Garber. And that one's long, and so back to deuce. Third deuce. Here in this game.
Garber doing a good job of holding on to this set and not allowing Ennett to finish.
Oh, that was a great serve there by Ennett, dropping it after that power first serve, and that's typically the way that she's been serving. She just dropped that one over the net, and so set point number 2 coming up here for Ennett, with another chance to win. And that's going to do it, as that one will be long and wide, and so Natalie Ennett picks up the win in set number 1 by a score of 6-1. And good strong battle. We had some good rallies between these two, but in the end Ennett a little stronger in set number 1, Blaine. We'll take a break. Ennett with the lead, 1-0. We'll be back with set number 2 here on North Metro TV. We're back here in Blaine as Molly Garber will serve to start set number 2, as Ennett picked up the win 6-1 in set number 1. Nick Walsh here along with Blythe Whaley.
On this blustery day.
Yes. We'll say it's brisk. Blustery sounds like fall and sad.
Okay, that's fair.
Brisk.
We'll hold on to summer.
All right. As Garber double faulting on the first 2 serves, so Ennett takes the 15-love lead.
I know, it's crazy how when August ended, it really ended. It was very abrupt this season.
return there from Ennett. Picks up the point there, 50 in all. As long as we don't have locusts coming out of the sky or something like that, 2020 has been as unpredictable as it is. I wouldn't be surprised, but I'll take wind, I guess. Wind's pretty common. Good drop shot there by Garber. Well, so 30-15 in favor of the Blaine number one singles player. As you mentioned before, just a sophomore.
Fedor was telling me before the matchup here just that Garber actually had tried soccer, trying to figure out what that fall sport would be for her. Basketball has definitely been her sport, but tried soccer for a little bit, then thought, nope, let's see how tennis is, and definitely wound out to be a great fit for her, moving from that JV team to number one singles in just a year's time.
So Ennett picking up the point there, and now 40 or 30. I thought she said 50-40 in favor of Ennett. And the shot there by Ennett, and we'll find out now. And Ennett did win the point there, so 1-0 in favor of Ennett here in set number 2. And again, net play there, a key for Ennett, as she was up right up close to the net and was able to draw Garber back and then drop it off to the far side. So 1-0 in favor of Ennett. She won the first 3 games in set number 1 before Garber picked up her lone point of the set, and then Ennett won the final 3 for a 6-1 win. Don't forget to visit the North Metro TV website, northmetrotv.com. Find schedules, updates, and more. Or subscribe to the YouTube page. That's what I was watching today. Just checking out some Blaine coaches and captains from this season. Try and check some things out. Where I got my information about Blaine. Got Jeff Fedor's commentary on this season. And that one in the net. And another ace for Ennett. We've seen the ability for her to, with that powerful serve that Garber has not been able at times to return, particularly on the far side.
Taking a look at some of the stats, Natalie Ennett last year, her overall record was 17-8, and she also won when she played Blaine last year, and just had 2 sets, 6-0, 6-0. So for her coming into this one, having that confidence of knowing when she took on Blaine last year, but of course never taken on Molly Garber since she wasn't in this position a year ago.
I believe it is 40 love here. I did not catch the last call, though. on the lob shot there. Makes it 40-15. And unable to get to the net, and Natalie Ennett picks up another game. Now 2-0 in favor of Natalie Ennett here in set number 2. So the serve back now to Garber.
And now if Garber can use the confidence that she had from that one game that she was able to win in this last set and learn from what went well, how did she get that win?
And that will go to Ennett. As the first shot was wide, so 15-love in favor of Natalie Ennett. And another aggressive shot there by Ennett. You can just see when she comes up to the net, she's got a plan, and she just is watching what Garber does. And if she doesn't move to a side, she's going to hit it down the side. But if she shifts, that makes the decision all the easier. Garber staying in the middle that time, and Ennett was able to drive it down the right side of the court.
Using her height and her strength to her advantage with that slam.
Well, now 40-love in favor of Ennett. As Garber, very consistent player, but against a player like Ennett, who's probably not going to make a lot of mistakes to that play, the advantage here is to Ennett. 40-love. And again, down the line, and 3-0 in favor of Ennett is so far quick work here of Garber in the third. Garber has only had 3 points so far in the first 3 games of set number 2. As we will take a 30-second break, 3-0 Ennett, already leading 1-0 here on North Metro. Back here in Blaine, and Molly Garber's got to figure out a way to slow the spread of this score. She's trailing 3-0 here in set number 2 after falling 6-1 in set number 1.
I like that. No, but also when we take a look at just that first set, that fourth game was Garber's game. And so how can she make sure she continues to rally and learn from what went well in that? But this is kind of that turning point. What can she do to make something happen here?
Ennett picking up the point there, 15-love. And another great shot there by Ennett, as she's really making Garber move around the court at this point. And again, we have seen some good shots from Garber, but consistency from Ennett. 30-love. And now 40-love with another ace.
And knowing that coming into this one, Garber having the strength with her footwork, we're seeing just how well placed that these shots are by Ennett, making her continue to work.
And another powerful shot there from Ennett as she picks up another one.
Those are my favorite ones, with authority.
And so another point for Ennett makes it 4-0 here in set number 2 as Garber with the serve. And another powerful shot. This time from the near side. We've seen that more times from the far side, but now Ennett becoming more aggressive on the near side as well. And she leads 15-love with a 4-0 set lead.
Yeah, it's like she's starting to smell the blood in the water. She's getting close here as we come down to a few games.
As Molly Garber picks up the point there. And those drop shots are probably more effective as well from that side because it's catching the wind and kind of moving around, a little bit of a knuckleball type effect. We'll see if she does that more here in this game. 15-all. And another one over the head of Ennett. And Garber, he's figured something out a little bit here in this game. 30-15 in favor of Molly Garber. So we see here again, it's a nice return there. She had to go a long way, and then knowing that Ennett was coming up on the net, was able to drop it over the top. (30-15) in favor of Molly Garber. And that one will be out. And so Garber picks up another point, and 40-15 the lead.
When you're at this point, you want to be able to see, hey, am I able to get another game on Ennett? You've seen how strong of a player she is, and using this, what you can learn from it and how much you can take away from this, playing such a strong opponent.
It's going to be too strong, and so Ennett stays in the game now. 40-30. You can see that Ennett is playing back a little bit more after those drop shots, maybe trying to neutralize that play. I believe that was called out. No, they'll say it's good, and so deuce. and advantage now in favor of Garber. Actually, it looks like Garber may have just won the point here. They were off by 1. So Garber picks up her first point of the day, and now 4-1. I should say first point of the second set now. And so it will be Ennett serving from the far side.
So she may not have got it on the fourth game this go around, but getting one here.
And the early point there to Ennett. Another serve that Garber wasn't able to return. And again, back to back, makes it 30-love. And this one will be out, and so Garber will pick up the point. Want to remind you, we'll have more girls tennis on the next Thursday. Spring Lake Park will take on Blaine. We'll have that right back here once again at Blaine.
Yeah, it's that time of year, but also you just think about this sport when you're considering the circumstances of the world with COVID and everything. Such a good sport for social distancing with how far away you get to be.
And that was too strong, and so quick point there for Ennett will make it 5-1, and so this could potentially be match game here. Here if that first one was called in or out. It was very close on the far side.
I know it's tough, and it's even tougher with the wind too to try to hear them.
That point going to Ennett. I believe it's 30-love, but we'll try and confirm that. I don't think that was called out. I believe Garber just said 30-love. So that's what we'll go with here. That's going to float out of bounds, so we believe this is match point.
Garber giving it all she has to keep this one going.
And that is going to do it. That is match point as Ennett wins that one in a match of 6-1. So straight sets of 6-1 as Natalie Ennett, the senior, defeating Molly Garber, the sophomore, 6-1 in set 1, 6-1 in set number 2. And so in quick fashion, this one has completed itself as Centennial gets the win in straight sets. Natalie Ennett over Molly Garber. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back here from Blaine. Centennial and Blaine. Ennett gets the win over Garber in straight sets. We'll be right back here on North Metro TV.
We are back here with Natalie Ennett, senior from Centennial. You had an awesome match here today.
Thank you.
But the first thing I want to ask you about is this crazy wind that we had. How was it playing in that?
I think the majority of the time I messed up. I was like, you know what, wind, take the ball. I'll just go with it. So, I mean, I missed a lot of shots because they went too far with the wind, but overall it was a big factor, I think.
So this year now it's sitting at 2-1 overall. How is this senior year? What is the looking ahead on the season?
Definitely did not expect it to be like this, but I'm excited to see how it goes. Short season, but make the best of it, you know.
So coming off of a couple of games ago, you played Zoe Adkins. What did you learn about your game through that?
I learned, well, not to get frustrated at myself if she hits like past me or like a good shot. Also how to place my ball and when to hit it at the right time for a good shot. And it was fun to play against Zoe too. She's a great kid.
No, well, very exciting. I said senior year, so looking forward to your rest of your season here today. But thanks so much, Natalie.
Yeah,
Good job
thank you.
Today.
All right.
Natalie Ennett, an excited senior who gets the win here today in straight sets over the sophomore Molly Garber. Final score 6-1 in straight sets. Want to remind you of some upcoming broadcasts here on North Metro, as we will have, again, girls tennis we talked about next Thursday, as the same Blaine Bengals will take on Spring Lake Park. And then we'll also have Centennial girls tennis coming up on Thursday the 17th, as Centennial will take on Spring Lake Park as well. Both of those matches 4 o'clock matches as well. We'll also have some soccer coming up as well, and some swimming and diving. So don't forget to check out the schedule on northmetrotv.com, as well as check out the YouTube channel for these matches and more. Final thoughts here from Blythe Whaley. What did you think today?
Man, oh my. I mean, just for these ladies to be able to get out there, to have a season, talking with Natalie, those seniors, we're just grateful, I would say, and just grateful to be out here today. And the wind didn't blow us away, so thumbs up to that.
All right. As we will wrap things up here from Blaine, want to thank everybody on the crew, including Kent and Kip at the helm here today. And of course, for my partner Blythe Whaley, I'm Nick Walsh. Wrapping it up here from Blaine High School, and as Ennett gets the win in straight sets over Garber today, 6-1, 6-1. This has been a presentation of North Metro TV. So long, everybody.